what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. In today's episode, for my newer followers, I wanted to do a motivational episode for you guys to overall let y'all know, times may get rough. What other things? Life is going to get difficult. It don't necessarily mean that it's over. It's far from over if you really sit down and think about it, but it may seem like that at times. We all think along those lines. That's not something where it's only exclusive for certain people. It's probably the richest of the richest, the happiest of the happiest. And it's just a lot of people all over the world where it's you will overall just reach a point where you just feel like that there's nothing out there for you. So, but anyways, overall, I like to talk on, my life to just kind of give y'all a more authentic, story to tell you guys and things, because I feel like my story might not be the most motivating story, but I feel like it can motivate some people out there, if it doesn't motivate anybody, then that just means that there's, not enough to the story. I do feel like I'm still at the beginning of my story, but, it was a pretty long beginning. I really don't know any other longer beginnings than my story, but anyways, so I had to say it really started, going downhill in 2016. 2016, I feel like that was the year where I really felt like I was losing a lot, from losing myself to losing a family member and a childhood friend, and that's three things that I feel like that you don't really expect to lose, especially all within 1 year. Beginning of the year, I had started this job in Seattle, and I guess that was good, but at the same time, I lost myself with YouTube. And, I was really taking, I thought I was taking YouTube seriously. I felt like I was putting in a lot of work with recording content. But now when I sit down and think about it, I'm doing, almost 30 times more than what because I have, over 30 channels now. So I'm not just focused on 2 channels. I'm focused on 34 different channels. So I should have been doing that back then, because I probably would have been in a much more better standings today with YouTube. But anyways, there's that. And then overall, fast forward towards the end of the year, I lost my grandfather. And so dealing with that, that was crazy, because that was something that I didn't really expect. I knew he was sick, but I just didn't, it didn't really hit me and stuff, I guess, up until the funeral and things, and then afterwards, and then that's when I was a part of me had accepted, and I don't even think even a part of me, I think it was just fully, I had to accept the fact he's gone, so that was crazy. And then New Year's Eve, that's one of my favorite, that's my favorite holiday out of the whole year. Childhood friend of mine gets killed, and so that was pretty hard to accept. And that was the first, I think, year New Year's Eve that I had where I was I'm not enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it at all. And so then then I was dealing with my crap with YouTube, was getting hate left and right, and that's not really going to help you or put you in a better mood and things. It's really going to drive you away from being put in a better mood. So dealing with that, dealing with the hate on YouTube. It wasn't I was going to quit because of that, but it was just so many things, from work, and then dealing with deaths, and just overall losing friends and stuff, and not even losing friends to death, but just overall growing apart. And you guys, you think you're gonna be cool with them, and it's it just got to a point where I just really felt that there was nobody to really go to and stuff. So life did get pretty difficult. Life did get pretty hard and stuff. And it was 2017. It was just that I had to say that was that was also not a so good year and stuff, because I had to say YouTube. It was more so with YouTube where it's just dang, how am I gonna get out of this hate? Because at the end of the day, I really didn't care that I was getting hate. It was just the fact that my channel, was getting ruined in the process of it all. And as many times as I tried to, fight it and overall try to get rid of it and stuff, nothing wasn't happening and things. And so, yeah, I was like, man, this is pretty crazy. Like I didn't really think that all of this would happen like this. And so I didn't really expect to deal with all of this, right now. So, but I guess like 2017, it did have like one up out of the whole situation. I did end up meeting Priscilla from Four Souls that year, and I had to say that she aided a lot with me and YouTube, and overall just put me in a better like mindset and stuff. Like, hey, there's people that are still here that can really use your help with whatever, and can overall just put your mind back in the right position. So I would have to thank her, past few years. Like she has helped me out a lot. So shout out to her. Yeah, y'all should definitely like go over to the Four Souls like channel and stuff and just comment and just be like, hey, thank you guys, because honestly, it's like meeting her and then meeting the rest of the family. It was like it was really like moving. It was really motivating and stuff. So I was like, that's something where I it's something where I sit down and I think about it, and it's like it doesn't really like leave me emotional, but it makes me feel like a little bit of happiness, to know that there's people out there that can change your life for the better and stuff. So yeah, go over there, thank them guys, comment, like their videos, do whatever. I mean, actually do it. Like, don't just be listening and stuff. Like, nah, actually go out and do that. Like, thank them guys, because if it wasn't, if it wasn't for Priscilla and the rest of them guys, I wouldn't probably be here today with YouTube. And so I actually am going to talk about her again in later on in this episode. But yeah, 2017 wasn't so good. In 2018, dealing with more deaths from like artists I listened to, friends. What else? I mean, yeah. Then 2019, it was same thing, dealing with some more like crazy stuff. And then 2020, or actually no, then in 2019, that's one thing that I always that I try to like tell people about, when they feel like quitting in life and things. But I almost quit YouTube. I almost had quit YouTube because it hit me that I didn't really have like supporters and stuff, and it was it just left me in a mindset where I was like, well, why am I still doing this if I don't have nobody supporting? I mean, there ain't nobody like really like helping me out with the dislikes and stuff, and then there's nobody that I can really talk to about this and things. And so it just left me in a position where I'm like, you know what, nah, like I'm just honestly I'm gonna quit, like, and I already had it planned, like, okay, I'm gonna go home, record this video, work on any like last videos that I got to work on, and then after that, like, I'm done, I'm leaving this. And I don't know, I probably would have came back like with this pandemic stuff happening. I probably would have like came back and things and just been like, okay, I guess this quitting was just a break that I needed and stuff. But yeah, almost quit, and I'm actually glad I didn't, because I feel like that if I probably did, like, who knows, like, I probably wouldn't have came back if the pandemic would have hit. I just waited and then just been like, oh, okay, just go out, find another job, and see how that goes. But no, I still kept going, and it actually paid off in the long run. I feel like that definitely this past year, it really did. It broke me down, but at the same time, I feel like that I did, become a better person in that process and stuff. Like, I do feel like that, and even this year, still kind of like battling stuff. Like, feeling like I'm losing myself again, because I'm thinking like along the lines like on taking a break and just kind of disappearing for a while. But I know that that's not the right thing for me to do, and I know that I would struggle if I were to do that. So that's why I'm like, I can't really take no break and things, like, not until I feel like that it gets to a point where I'm like, all right, now I need to. I feel like when it gets to a serious situation, like I ain't landed myself in the hospital because I'm not getting enough sleep, or I don't know, like just something crazy. I know it shouldn't lead to that point, but I do feel like that it is leading to that point where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just overwork myself to the max, And yeah, overall, just be in a situation where I'm like, yep, I gotta take a break now. So I don't know, like we'll see what happens and stuff, but yeah, then 2020, that year happens, and it's like I kind of had like mixed reviews about 2020 because I'll admit, like 2020 was a bad year. I feel like it was a bad year for a lot of people, especially me. Like I had to say that, my depression, it really like took a toll on me and had me to a point where I was like I couldn't eat right, I wasn't sleeping right. Like honestly, I was like I feel like 2020 was like slowly taking me out because it was crazy, like when I was dealing with all of that. And and I think I've talked on it before and stuff. Don't really feel like going through the whole spill on that again, but like overall, to just give you the short summarized version, thought something was going to work out with the girl. It didn't, and just overall felt like I had wasted a lot of my time, like on that situation. So yeah, overall, it's just it's life. Like when you sit down and think about it, like it's life. You can't really be like, oh, like nah, things need to get better. Things are going to get better, and it's like nah, you just overall need to like whatever. My thing is this: whatever is happening in your life is most likely happening for a reason. It's probably, my thing is like you might sit down and think like, man, why is all this stuff happening to me? How come it can't happen to nobody else? Because there's nobody else that can live your life. When you sit down and think about it, the days after days after days of you waking up and going to sleep, being yourself, and the amount of struggles that you're having, and the amount of problems that you're having, and the amount of everything that you're going through, whether it's your personal life or your career, you mentally, okay, and you physically only have that, power to live your life. There's nobody out there. People out there can live a similar life or they can live somewhat of the same life, but it can't be 100% the same. No way possible. So that's why when I said, like, overall telling people, it's like the reason why you're going through the problems that you're going through is because you're cut out for it, and that's how you got to see it. And also, it's like people will look at you while you're dealing with all of your stuff, and then they're gonna be like, "Hey, yo, like now my problems. They went through their problems. I feel like I could go through my problems." I overall saying that your problems is like a not really an entertainment factor. Don't really see it as like somebody, so you guys see this that somebody is getting motivated by your life. And when you've done that to somebody, when you've motivated somebody to do better in their life, that's something that you can't really, take away. Like that alone should make you feel good. If that doesn't make you feel good, then it's like I really don't know what can and stuff. But I do feel like that, you being you and you living your life and then you conquering the issues that you face in life, like that's gonna motivate a lot of people. So that's honestly how you have to see it in things, where it's like, hey, you might be struggling with YouTube, you might be struggling with your music career, you might be struggling with your acting, comedian, whatever career that that you're dealing with, or whatever personal life's like problems that you're dealing with. You're overall going to conquer all of that stuff, and then somebody else is going to see that you conquered your problems, your fears, anything that you're dealing with. They're going to be like, dang, like I think I can do it too. Like I know I can do it. They did it, so it's possible. That's how you got. And then that's honestly another thing. That's how you guys see life, is that you got view is that anything is possible. Don't think for a second because you're dealing with some issues and you think it's impossible to get out of. It's not. Honestly, it's not. There's problems I thought it was going to be impossible for me to get out of, and look at me today. I'm in a much more better situation than I was a year ago, and then the year prior. Like I had to say, the past 4 years from 2016 to 2020. This past year, I honestly, or from 2016 to 2019, all the way up until like December. I felt like, but January 1st, 2020, like that was the year of like, okay, finding my success. And I feel like that this year was just overall like, making more out of my success. I really don't know what the future holds for me next year or whenever, but it's definitely going to be me, having a completed success story and really living out my life and stuff. So that's how I see it, and that's how I'm going to view it and stuff. So that's how I feel like others should see it. It's like, whatever you're dealing with, there's going to be a beginning, middle part, and end to it. At some point in time, you're going to reach that end point to it and stuff. So, but anyways, I will talk to y'all later. I feel like that was, all the motivation I could really give out in this. I was struggling at that, 11-minute mark. I was like, dang, what other things can I say? So I just had to, just roll with it and things, just improvise. I mean, I already was improvising, but anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching or listening. I ain't gonna do no promos and all of that, but stay tuned for the next episode, and peace.